All right, so I was just heading out to the mountains behind me. There is an old abandoned gold mine out that way with some old ruins of buildings and some of the equipment they used to use. So I started driving down the road, and I got really, really close, probably about a mile away before the road just got way too dangerous to drive on, too many rocks and ruts. So I parked my car and I was going to hike the rest of the way, and I was estimating it's probably about an hour hike to get in. And I really, really, really want to see this gold mine. But started assessing the situation, and you know what? Middle of nowhere, no one else around, no reception on my phone, and while I have plenty of water and that sort of thing, if something were to happen in that 1 hour hike to the site or back, I'd probably die out there because there's just, that's the desert. And one of the things that I know from scouting in the desert and talk with people who live in the desert and do a lot of exploring, you respect the desert. You don't treat it like any other environment. You respect it because it will sneak up on you and kill you without warning. And I had a friendly reminder of this last week. You may remember that I was visiting some volcanic craters. Most of them I was able to drive right up to and take pictures, but there was one in particular that I had to do a hike to. It was about a 45-minute hike to the base, or at least that's what it was supposed to be, maybe an hour, and then about half an hour to walk around the cone to get inside and take some pictures of the crater itself. So I got there in the morning. It was a pleasant 90-something degrees. Honestly, did not feel that hot. I had plenty of water. There was a very pleasant breeze blowing, and the first hour of the hike was great. It's all flat. You're walking on a winding road around the lava fields, and then you can see the cone is just getting closer and closer. About an hour and 10 minutes in, all of a sudden it got crazy, crazy hot, like I'd walked into a baking oven. And it seemed really weird because up until that point, the temperature was in the 90s, but then all of a sudden it just became sweltering. But I was so close, I was just wanted to get those pictures of the crater. So I kept going, and it got hotter and hotter. So then I said, all right, I'm going to pick a point because I am so close. I'm going to pick a point, and if I can make it to that point, I'm going to reassess, and if it looks bad, I'm just going to turn around and go back, be smart. Okay, so I got to that point, and it looked like I was so close. So I picked another point, and I got to that point, and I was, okay, I'm still not there, but I must be close at this point. So I got to about the fourth or fifth, obviously the stupidest fucking thing you could do in the desert, but I got to about the fourth or fifth point, and then I said, all of a sudden, some sort of intelligence deep within my brain perked its head up and said, wait a minute, this is really, really bad news. You have to turn around right now. Thank God I did, because I had no idea how much energy I had expended to get to that point. The other very, very important thing that I didn't know about lava fields have a way of absorbing the sun. All that black rock, both exposed and underground, have a way of absorbing the sun and then radiating it back up at you, to the point that the area around this crater in the lava fields have been known to reach up to 160 degrees, 160. So it wasn't the temperature of the 90s that I was feeling in the parking lot. I was in a whole different world of heat, and I had no idea. So I turned around, I started back, and it was excruciating. I went through the rest of my water supply probably 3 or 4 times as fast as the trip out. It got to the point where I could see the car, but it was still way, way in the distance, but the trail is snaking around in the desert, and boy, if I just go straight, I could get there so quick. So running out of water, extreme heat, leaving the trail, all really, really, really stupid things that you do when you get into trouble. So I made it back to the car. I went on to my next location. I actually was feeling kind of embarrassed for having given up. And at the next location was sort of an industrial site with all these big burly guys working. And I was like, I should have just gone the rest of the way. They're like, dude, you did the smart thing. We have about 5 to 10 people who die out there every year. And one of the problems actually is when people do get into trouble in that particular area, helicopters really can't fly over after 10 a.m. because the heat radiating up from the lava fields is so extreme that the rotor blades can't get enough uplift to fly over the site. So there's your desert safety tip of the day. I'm going to be smart today, but I will definitely be coming back to this gold mine when it's a little cooler, and next time I'll bring a friend.